Another big story we're watching today, Tucker Carlson, things just keep spilling out one after another. I wonder who's behind that. Anyway, the New York Times thinks they have solved it. They think they know the reason why Tucker and Fox parted ways. And I would just say that the New York Times might want to do a little bit more reporting first before being so definitive. Private messages sent by Tucker Carlson that had been redacted in legal filings showed him making highly offensive remarks that went beyond the comments of his primetime show. The headline that they're really running with here is that he said something about how that's not how white men fight. Well, it's a little bit more nuanced than that if you actually look at the entire exchange that Mr. Carlson was having with his producer. This is not good, but I would also say, given what he had said on the air in the past, I'm not so sure that this is what did it. And I think we should be asking more questions. I think there's many more layers to this, and I have some thoughts. I mean, they're all hypotheses at this point because I don't know, but I would say that this particular exchange that I'm about to read you was probably not enough, even though everybody's trying to say this is what did it. So apparently on January 7th, 2021, he sent a text to his producer, a guy named Justin Wells, writing, "A couple of weeks ago, I was watching video of people fighting on the street in Washington. A group of Trump guys surrounded an Antifa guy and started pounding the living shit out of him. It was 3 against 1, at least. Jumping a guy like that is dishonorable, obviously. It's not how white men fight." Asterisk that. Remember that he said that. Yet suddenly I found myself rooting for the mob against the man, hoping they'd hit him harder, kill him. Okay, that's really, really not good, right? Like now it's sounding violent. He goes on to say, "I really wanted them to hurt the kid. I could taste it." And then he says, "Then somewhere deep in my brain, an alarm went off. This isn't good for me. I'm becoming something I don't want to be. The Antifa creep is a human being, much as I despise what he says and does, much as I'm sure I'd hate him personally. If I knew him, I shouldn't gloat over his suffering. I should be bothered by it. I should remember that somewhere somebody probably loves this kid and would be crushed if he was killed. If I don't care about those things, if I reduce people to their politics, how am I better than he is?" Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sure they weren't thrilled with this. But at the same time, it seems as though Tucker, in his stream of consciousness, is coming to the logical best thought, which is that we cannot reduce people to politics, because if we do, we're just part of the system, right? And that should never be who we are. So while there's some scary revelations in there, and you're getting into the sort of inner workings of his head, it's also ultimately coming to the conclusion that is a healthy one. And so perhaps in his exchange with his producer, he was sort of letting his producer into some of those inner thoughts. It's almost reading kind of like a diary, or let's not forget, didn't he have like a whole background as a writer? I can see this as part of like feels like an essay of some sort, like that you might read while you're on the beach. Again, I'm sure it concerned Fox, but did it concern Fox enough to do what it did? Don't forget, I mean, they were willing to put up with a lot, including his whole spiel on how immigrants are dirty and they're making our country dirtier. And then everybody's like, wait, what did you say? And he doubled down on it the next day. He sent one of his producers off to Queens or something and got video of trash cans. I mean, so he had done some things in the past that were, of course, questionable. So what is it about this text? I mean, I'm sure the text, again, I'm not condoning it in any way, shape, or form. I'm only saying that they kind of knew what they were getting with him. And I don't know why they would be, clutching their pearls all of a sudden over this one thing. I'm wondering if it was a multitude of things. Maybe there were other texts. Maybe they were texts that insulted family members there that owned the company. And the family was like, you know what? We're kind of sick of this guy. We don't like it.